Makori. And again, like my sister, I'm very privileged this afternoon to share my thoughts with you. I want to say a couple of things before I get deep into your question. I want to say that all our languages are protected by the Constitution of Kenya. So there is nothing wrong in people speaking whichever language they want. You have every right to speak in Sheng. You have every right to speak in Pokomo, in Orma, in whichever language you want to speak. All languages are equal. There is no language that is more important than the other. The biggest problem is what you put in the language. You can be as divisive in English as you could be in the Luo or in the Koyo. It is what you put in that language that will either build or destroy our country. I also want to say that the media is a channel that we use. The radio station is a vehicle. By its very nature, it does not divide or unify people. It's again us who participate in the debates in the radio stations, those of us who call into the radio stations, and so on. Those hosts and presenters that will make the radio station either a unifying channel or a divisive channel. These preliminary statements are very important because they will now help me, discuss with you my thinking about local language stations, as well as the whole question of ethnic polarization and ethnic tensions, ethnic mistrust, and an agenda that I'm totally committed to, which is the agenda of building a unified nation. Now, I want to suggest the biggest problem we have in this country is the problem of ethnic mistrust. The ethnic identity, quite often, is seen as an extension of family or clan. The first unit of trust is usually the family. That you feel that you trust your fellow members in your family. You trust your mother more than you trust your neighbor. You trust your brother, you trust your sister, and so on. And by extension, you feel that you trust people of your ethnic group more than you trust people from other communities. Now, this is a natural process because of an assumed safety, that you believe that to the extent that you speak the same language as the other person, you have a solidarity relationship, that they will protect your interests because you have a shared history, you have a shared culture, you have a shared language, you have a shared experience. Now, this is not necessarily the case. Some of the people that I trust most are from other communities. They are not from my ethnic group. And I think that the way we should move now, beyond the years, beyond 50 years, is to try and build inter-ethnic trust. We build another layer of solidarity away from the ethnic solidarity. And these are things that people do consciously, purposely. They just don't happen by themselves. Just as you are socialized to believe that people who speak your language are closer to you, that they are more trustworthy. Just as you are socialized to believe that, you can be socialized to believe that people from your ethnic group are not necessarily the best for you that other people could actually be more trustworthy. You could be socialized in that way. And therefore, I think the biggest problem for our country is that we never integrated the phenomenon of nationhood and national consciousness in our educational system. We never purposefully, developed the concept of national consciousness as Kenyans, so that when you see my name, and my name is in fact more terrible because Kemaniwajo, automatically I am placed in a particular pigeonhole. Even my thinking is assumed to belong to a particular ethnic orientation. Even before you listen to me, you have already prejudged me as belonging to a particular political direction. This is very dangerous for our country because you are not able to embrace me in my totality, in my wholeness, in my complexity. And I think that we are getting to a point in this country where we have to move away from this tendency to pigeonhole people in a particular way. And the only way we can do this is to build inter-ethnic solidarity, inter-ethnic trust, and so on. Now, how can the local language stations help us in this regard? I'm the national chairman of the Kiswahili Association. My commitment to Kiswahili is complete. It's total. It's uncontestable. Most of my writings are in Kiswahili. I believe very strongly that one of the languages that we can use to develop national consciousness is Kiswahili. For inter-ethnic solidarity, for inter-ethnic, understanding. Mistrust is, mistrust is built on the foundations of misinformation and underinformation. To the extent that we do not share information across ethnicities, we shall continue mistrusting each other, we shall continue being suspicious of each other. Through Kiswahili, we can build this national consciousness. That's one. And therefore, local language stations need to have a policy about Kiswahili. I have not seen any local language station that has 40% content in Kiswahili. And we can do this. If we are committed, totally committed to building this country, we need to start demanding that all our vernacular stations have content in Kiswahili. That we have 40% content in our national language. So that at Kameme, between 9 and say 11, we have Kiswahili programming. That allows for Odongo, Wafula, Salim, and so on, to participate in discussions on Kameme. And the same should be done for Kass FM, the same should be done for Lake Victoria, and all our local language stations. Number one. Number two, we do not know about each other. Recently, when the Pokomo and the Oromo were fighting, the whole country did not even know where the Tana Delta was. Because we don't know our geography. What is the role of local language stations in building this consciousness about other communities and their histories and their contribution to national development? We need to do that. We need to have programming that is national in outlook. Granted, local language stations serve a particular constituency, but we must now consciously build the nation Kenya. And we cannot leave it to chance. We cannot leave it to chance. And I think now, at the level of licensing and programming and policy and so on, we must start making demands, on local language stations. What's their national agenda? Now, I want to just say one little thing, Makori, if you allow me. And this has to do with the relationship between local languages or vernacular languages and politics. You see, when I speak to you in my local language, I'm establishing a sense of solidarity with you, an emotional connection of a shared history, a shared culture, a shared all sorts of things. And therefore, you are likely to believe me more when I speak to you in my local language than when I speak to you in English. Because English is almost like a cognitive language. It's actually in the level of knowledge. The emotional connection is not fully there. And our politicians know this. They know this. They manipulate this ability of local languages to reach people emotionally, and they delink, cognition from their messages. And I think that those of us who listen to local stations, we need to start now engaging politicians in our during the call-ins, and to disagree with them when they start misleading us, because they do that all the time on their, during discussions. We need to start consciously challenging, hosts and presenters in our local language. I listen to a couple of local language stations, and quite often I feel like I want to call in and say, frankly, you have just misled your listeners, But again, we have to be, many of us doing this. We have to challenge our politicians, and we have to challenge them in our local languages. Finally, we did research in 2008 on medias. And we call that research meddling with the message. We looked at print media, we looked at the Standard, we looked at Nation, we looked at Kass FM, we looked at Inoro, we looked at Kameme, we looked at all these radio stations. And I tell you, it is true. They were very instrumental in ethnicizing our country. And it is not just Kass, it is virtually most of our radio stations. Some of our radio stations played Mau Mau music. And why were they playing liberation songs? What were they doing? They never said, take up your arms and go and fight. But they played liberation songs. What was the significance of playing Mau Mau songs on the radio stations? So, again, we should not allow our radio stations to be misused by the political elite. We must be able to stand up and say, we disagree. This country belongs to all of us. Over 60 ethnic groups belong to this country. No ethnic group will leave this country, and we need to use these channels that are available to us. So I don't believe that it is vernacular stations that cause division. It is us, the Kenyan people, who use the various channels, who have built in a mechanism of mistrust and ethnic hostility, and then we use this channel to consolidate and solidify and intensify, ethnic mistrust. We can be better than we currently are. I believe this.